What's good, guys? Eminem Rex here, back on the video today, ranking to soccer explained for Americans, guys. So since the World Cup around the corner, might as well go ahead. I know we did another video like for soccer. I forgot the name of it. I guess it's kind of, but it's like a quick like oversimplified version of it. So I've added that video like 7 minutes, and this one is 19 minutes, so this probably be a more in-depth explanation about what the game of soccer is, guys. So we had to deal on a lot of soccer content on this channel as well, like Messi highlights or explaining soccer, which one better, the World Cup or the Super Bowl, which a lot of debate going on there. Based on that video about the Super Bowl and the World Cup, I feel like World Cup better because it's probably globally, and for Super Bowl it's probably like on a majority of America watch Super Bowl, I guess, and I feel like the world watch soccer because it's East basically country representing a team in a World Cup at least. So yeah, so before we get into the video, we got a couple things. Hit that subscribe button, guys. We just hit 200 subscribers 2 days ago, guys, on the road to 300 subscribers as well. So keep hitting that subscribe button new to the channel. Make sure to also like the video, guys. Enjoy this video. You want to see more as well, let us know in the comments below other videos you guys want us to react to. We do a lot of German content as well, European content overall in general. So let us know in the comments below as well. And without further ado, let's get into the video.
So I've been wanting to start following soccer for a while now, but as an American, I always found it complicated. Not like how they play. Most 3-year-olds can kind of understand more or less how it works. I just mean how everything kind of works in Europe. You know, I would follow the World Cup, and I'd root for the United States if they made it. And then I'd root for Iceland because clearly they've all been practicing that clapping and they're really good at it. But that only happens once every 4 years. So I turn on my TV, and it would be like a random game, like Parma versus Bologna.
Oh, I literally, I feel like I watched like one soccer game in my life. That's about it. But I'm finished watch the World Cup at least now. So when this comes
Watching the
around,
Food Network, but then I had no frame of reference for this game. Like, are these teams good? You know, is this a big game? Which one of these guys is Pele? You know, I didn't know. And I had all these other questions. Like, you know, why are teams getting kicked out of leagues? Why are they all rolling around on the ground so much? How are guys getting traded to different countries? And why does everybody in the stand have a scarf? So a few months ago, I tried to start figuring it all out. And I started watching some matches. That's the first thing. They aren't soccer games. They are football matches. And I bought FIFA for my Xbox, and I bought a scarf and a vuvuzela because that's like the rules or something. So anyway, this is all info that I wish I'd known a year ago. This is
that's
my
pretty good
crash
question.
course of translating soccer into American. I'm going to assume that you kind of know the rules. The biggest difference between American sports is how offsides works and the clock. Lots of people get upset about the clock. It goes up instead of down. Get over yourself.
Oh, it
Doesn't
does.
really matter.
I didn't even know.
American
I didn't
players
even know that. To be honest with you, I didn't even pay attention to that.
also get mad because the clock doesn't stop and games pretty much end whenever the ref feels like it.
Oh,
And
for
you
real?
actually adjust to this pretty quickly. The game's an hour and a half long. You'll have your chances to score, and if you can't score, then it's not the clock's fault.
I feel like also it's like a patient game because it's not like football or basketball where it's high scoring. It's literally like sometimes a score can be 1-0 or 2-1 or stuff like that. It's like hockey. You just gotta be patient. It's not like as fast paced as other sports.
Some people, and when I say people, I'm referring both to discussions I've had with other Americans as well as like myself 6 years ago. So people think soccer is too slow.
Yeah,
When
my
Americans
point
see a
exactly.
soccer field, something in our minds, we think that it's like playing hockey or playing basketball just on a big grass field. And in those sports, guys like go full tilt a lot, like most of the game. So when
Yeah, soccer
something
gotta run a big difference to play defense, offense, all that with your legs. You can't touch the ball with your hands either. So that is difficult, bro.
are just standing there passing the ball back and forth, we wonder like, why aren't they trying to move forward? Just go. And on the other side, we expect the defenders to be attacking the guy with the ball
Yeah,
rather than just standing 5 feet back and letting him do what he's doing.
right.
The key difference is that football pitches are much larger than basketball courts.
Like I said,
And
yeah.
hockey rinks.
Oh my God,
So if
that's
you
a
had a full
one
court press
side of
on
one half of the
game,
field is the size of the
your
basketball court. It's
exhaust towards the end
crazy.
would probably lose. See, the pace of a soccer game is actually much closer to baseball. Most of the game is going to consist of guys just slowly.
That's a perfect example. I didn't even think about that. That is a perfect example. Some games are like baseball, yeah. And some people saying now, like MLB's trying to make like they fix the bats, trying to make it get more like offensively to help fast speed up the game too,
passing the ball around
pace clocks and
people,
stuff like that.
and then it's going to be all of a sudden followed by these short bursts of extremely fast action. Basketball players, it's estimated, run an average of 2.5
The
miles
court not
during a
that
game.
big.
Soccer players can run 7, if not 10 miles during one game. And remember, you're only 3
Golly.
subs games, so most of these players will be playing the whole game.
That's what I'm
One
saying,
thing
bro. I
the
don't know how
masses
some people play
will
soccer, bro.
appreciate is that other than halftime, there are no commercials. So it's like the anti-NFL, which
Oh
is
yeah,
great.
that's perfect.
It also
I
means
hate
that no matter
commercials.
where the ball is, both teams are always
Commercials is big. I hate. It's too many commercials now, bro. I feel like in American sports, bro.
potentially about 30 seconds away from scoring, which creates this kind of constant tension. It also creates a scenario where you can't ever really run to the bathroom or get a drink. Soccer players seem to have a reputation for being lazy in the U.S. because they don't always pop right back up after going to ground and get right back on the
Well, I
field.
get it.
Certainly, some
I
players
don't
do
agree with
embellish
that.
and some go over the top, but I don't really think that on the whole it's quite the issue that
I don't see how they say that's lazy when they run a whole field, bro. That's not
they get
lazy.
made fun of in Europe too. So here's a fun experiment to try the next time you have a few minutes. Go to like a local field and then quickly jog laps around that field for like 10 minutes. And then suddenly sprint down the middle of the field as fast as you can. And when you're halfway up the field and
Done.
you're still sprinting, have one of your friends just shove you over onto the ground. And if you can pop right back up and keep sprinting, then you can keep complaining about those guys. Or you know,
Yeah.
they're just taking a little rest. And everyone will either just keep playing around them, or both teams will be a little tired, so who cares? It's not a Matthew Riley novel out there. The other reason for guys slowly passing the ball around is that one of the strategies currently employed by most teams is to maintain possession as much as possible. Obviously, this is no different in American football,
Hmm.
or why Russia is
The
really
longer
good at
person,
hockey.
the longer people
The other
who
team
waste the clock
can't
wins.
score when you
Rarely.
have the ball. So teams will just pass the ball back and forth and even pass it back to their own goalie because it's better to go backwards with the ball than to maybe make a risky pass and let the other team have the ball. On occasion, you'll see a team make like 50 passes without the other team touching the ball, which can take a really long time, but then they'll go down and they'll score, and that's like as good as it gets. It's all about waiting for the precise moment for things to align and then all going together at the right moment. In terms of like positioning and formations, you'll usually have 3 or 4 numbers, like 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. These
Mm.
numbers will always add up to 10, and then the goalie is just assumed. Different positions include the center backs, who will just
Center
stay as
backs.
defenders, and
Hmm.
then full backs are both the left and the right back, who will defend, but then they'll also usually join the attack as well.
Hmm.
And then we have midfielders, like a center midfielder, who can go both ways, a center attacking midfielder or a center defending midfielder. And then up front, we have like a left wing and a right wing, sometimes a center forward, and a striker up front it's his job to just score goals. One thing I'll mention that makes it easy to kind of get into soccer is that you can legally watch some old matches on YouTube. This is unlike American sports. Like, why isn't there a website that I can go to watch any game, like an iTunes for sports? So, like, I can pay
I mean, it's some videos out there. You go. I mean, channels out there come out with old football games.
$2 to watch any game in history. Like, all these games are on tape somewhere. They exist. But I can't watch a game in the 1986 World Series unless an international pandemic shuts down the world and there's no sports. And they just happen to put it on NBC or something.
Oh
Like, come
yeah,
on.
he's talking about every like game.
So anyway, so keeping the ball and attacking is referred to as positive football. You're always trying to move forward. This is what most teams do. This is what people like to watch a little more. It's kind of exciting. It's more exciting to watch that way. But of course, there's always a yin to the yang. So the yin is this guy named Jose Mourinho. And he basically says, I don't want the ball. I'm going to stand back with my players in front of my goal, and you're not going to score. And then every once in a while, when you're falling asleep and all your players are up in my zone, we're going to steal the ball and we're going to run down and score, which sounds a little bit risky. Except
Yeah,
that it actually does work if you do it well.
yeah. If you do it well,
One of
yeah.
the best managers there is, and he has the trophies to back it up. He's won plenty of big tournaments with teams that I'm told if you tried to have that team keep
I
the
want to know
ball
how
the
many
whole time,
y'all soccer football people agree with how he played the game. I want to know in the
most players
comments.
would. They would have been destroyed. They were too old, and they just would have got worn out and wiped out. But by playing this negative defensive strategy, they were able to win. And despite this, teams that employ this strategy seem to get a bad rap for playing negative as opposed to positive football because keeping the ball seems to be the in thing right now. So obviously there's more thought that goes into it than I've described here. Like Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid has been using this negative strategy for years, and they've been successful with it. On the flip side, the guys who've risen to the top playing possession football are also widely sought after. Two of the most well-known coaches right now are Jurgen Klopp.
I mean, that's just like
and
football too. The
Pep
person,
Guardiola.
like coordinators who score the most points, obviously gonna be ahead of people like more than defensive coordinators. I feel like more than who have the number one defense. I feel like.
And I highly recommend watching the series All or Nothing about Manchester City on Amazon Prime. It's about Guardiola's team a few years ago, and it's quite clear from interviews with these guys that they're quite thoughtful and well traveled. I couldn't name a single baseball manager who can speak 3 languages. So speaking of Manchester City, they play in England. There are 4 main football countries in Europe. There's England, Spain, Germany, and Italy. England has the Premier League, Spain has La Liga, Germany has the Bundesliga, and Italy has Serie A. So to take one country, they're all the same.
The only one
to take
heard about was Premier League.
One country, England. The Premier League consists of 20 teams. Every team plays every other team once at home and once away. And these leagues don't have playoffs. You get 3 points for a win, 1 for a tie.
Yeah, and the points. Yeah, he went over the point system in our other video we did.
This can and has come down to the final day of the season before. In the U.S., our leagues pretty much have the same teams every year. So if you suck, and even if you start to lose on purpose, you actually get rewarded with the top draft the next year. If you finish in last place in one of these leagues, they literally kick you out of the league. They call it relegation.
Maybe I forgot about, but I feel like that in sports, bro. If you like trying to lose, bro, you should get kicked out or like fined. I know that's a big thing in NBA now is what you call that thing? Freaking losing on purpose. I forgot the word of it.
Before we keep going, here's a quick aside on
Tanking.
MLS. Major League Soccer is the top league in the United States. It's different in many ways than the European leagues. There's no relegation, so the teams do stay the same from year to year, and there is a salary cap. Talent-wise,
more like baseball.
Globally speaking, it's
football.
an okay league, but certainly
I never heard of Major League Soccer in the U.S. at all.
So under the Premier League, which is at the top, under them is a league called the English Football League Championship. The 3 teams who finish at the bottom of the Premier League are relegated to the championship for the next season and replaced by 3 teams from the championship. The bottom 3 teams in the championship are relegated to League 1. The bottom 3 in League 1 are relegated to League 2, whose losers go to the National League, whose losers are... nobody really cares about them except the moms at this part, but you get the idea. Unless you really get...
So who they play? I guess the person who continue to lose?
Again. But just so you're aware of what's happening down there. This system does a few things. First off, just because you're near the bottom of the standings, your games can still be extremely important. They still count because you're not trying to win the league anymore, but now you're trying to literally stay in the league. And the higher the league you're in, the higher the check you get from TV contracts.
Yeah.
It also creates this kind of theoretical meritocracy where you could start a team with a bunch of guys anywhere in the country, get into a kind of a tiny league, and then ultimately work your way up.
Yeah, that was also in the video when he said you can't do that, like you should put a soccer team together and work your way up and get into the big leagues, bro.
That'd be like trying to take a single A baseball team and work your way up.
Yeah, that's cool though. I like that.
Other better teams with bigger pocketbooks are trying to buy all your...
Yeah, it's gonna be hard though, yeah, because you don't got the funding.
For the teams at the top, just winning the Premier League sounds pretty easy. You're playing maybe 1 game a week, but that's the catch. There's other things going on here. So there's also the Carabao Cup, which is a tournament open to the top 4 leagues in England, and then there's the FA Cup, which has been going on since like forever. That it's literally open to every like team in England. So over 700 teams entered this one tournament.
Jeez.
Like, imagine if every major and minor league baseball team had...
That, I don't know how... They might have played a game every day.
Could any team win? Yes, they could. Will the small teams upset the bigger teams?
Yeah.
At some point, maybe a few will. But is it likely that a non-Premier League team is going to win? No, probably not. So more fun to think about in theory than practically, I guess. The final tournament is the big one. Like, what if we could find the best team in Europe? And I don't mean like each country gets a team. That's the European Championship that happens every 4 years. This, I'm talking about the league clubs. So the best teams from all over Europe, from 55 different countries, battle it out each year. This is the UEFA Champions League. So, as a side note on these acronyms here, FIFA is the organization that runs like big international tournaments, like the World Cup. It
Hmm.
helps to coordinate things across different regions. If you're an American, you probably heard of FIFA because somebody on SportsCenter mentioned somebody that was involved with some kind of corruption investigation.
And they got a game.
Anyway, within FIFA, the world is divided into 6 different regions. UEFA is Europe. That's where like the best players go. CONCACAF, you may have heard of because that's what the U.S. is in, the Confederation of North, Central American, and Caribbean Association Football.
That's a name for it, though.
And then there's like the rest of the world. And each one of these groups has tournaments with national teams and their league clubs, like the CONCACAF Champions League and the UEFA Champions League. And these are called like the Champions League, but really it's just a tournament. So the UEFA Champions League is played in conjunction with the UEFA Europa League, which is kind of like the NCAA and NIT basketball tournaments, but with a bit of a twist.
Mm.
They play the qualifying rounds for the Champions League first. So if you get knocked out of the big boy tournament, but you finish high enough, you can just move down into the Europa League and try to win that. And I won't get into the qualifying, but typically you're going to have teams that you may have heard of as an American, like Manchester City,
Yeah, Liverpool.
Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur. From Spain,
Barcelona, heard of that. Real Madrid, heard of that.
Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid. Serie A from Italy, we'll have Juventus and Inter and Roma and Atalanta. Germany is pretty much dominated by Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich. And then there's other popular teams like Paris Saint-Germain from France and Lyon from France and Ajax from the Netherlands. And then you throw in a few Russian teams and you're ready to party. So back to the Premier League. You remember how your team's playing that kind of standard 38-game schedule.
Yeah.
So now, also at the same time, you're competing in the Premier League, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. And there's like a bunch of other small one-off games happening too. So even if you have the best team, you're still probably not going to win all these tournaments just because of the wear and tear.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, God dang, that's a lot. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 tournaments, 5 if you count the little one, but still.
That's like special.
That's so many games.
If you win 4, that's called a quadruple, but that's pretty rare. And so the biggest payday is for winning your league, although I, for some reason, find the Champions League is hard to beat for excitement. So even though you can, soccer teams tend to trade players less than they do in the U.S. Rather, teams will just buy players from their current club.
Oh, yeah, you can buy players. Yeah, even if they go on contract, you can still buy them.
Salary, obviously, but also something called a release clause, which is a fee that would go to the current club for that player.
Obviously.
So any team could negotiate a transfer fee with a player's current club. A release clause takes that current team just out of negotiations altogether. So a baseball player, unhappy with the situation, he could demand a trade.
Yeah, but they don't have
They
to.
might trade him and he'd be happy. But if they refuse to trade him, then he's kind of stuck. Whereas a soccer player could just find another team willing to pay that release clause. And once a team agrees to pay the clause, then they can just negotiate directly with that player.
Yeah, but I doubt if a player want to be released, maybe it is because of money, but I doubt he want to go to like a bad team. Like he ain't gonna negotiate with like a bad team knowing they can't win. I feel like. So is he kind of ill stuck? I know he can just if he just want to be out there, he could probably be out of there. But I'm just saying he would want to go to a good quote unquote good team.
Obviously, the better player, the higher the fee is going to be, so the current club can go out and find a reasonable replacement. Another big difference is that while most sports in the U.S. have a trade deadline, and that's followed by a few weeks afterward where players cannot move to another team, soccer's kind of the opposite. So most of the time, you cannot move to another team. There are 2 periods a year called transfer windows that you can move during. So usually before and then halfway through the season. And you could sign a new contract for another team whenever, but you can't actually start playing for them until that next transfer window.
Wow, that's good. I think that's a good thing. Like you can't play till the next term. That is a good though. It's got to be
the Wild West.
Limits to it.
Sign players, or I should say kids, like into their youth academy very young, like 10, 8 years old. And smaller teams who find a really good player could also include something called a sell-on clause when selling a player to a larger team that says if the team buying that player turns around and sells the player again to an even bigger club, then that original team will get a percentage of
Wow,
every
that
player.
is crazy.
All right, so
That
it
is
still
crazy.
makes it
So
fun.
even a small team still making money off you if you turn out to be this global superstar. That is, I like that. I like that contracts under there. Like you got a window where you can transfer it to a player, and you can also buy out somebody's contract and go to another team. I enjoy that.
You probably want more. So what's next? There are like an unlimited number of top or best goal compilations on YouTube, which are kind
Yes.
of interesting in the sense that you can actually show, new people to soccer, the potential that the game has. Lots of Americans' exposure to soccer is like the Women's World Cup, and obviously we have a great team there, but you never really get to
Yeah,
see
I
what
heard the
the
soccer
different
women's
strategies
US
look
is
like.
good.
Like look up Barcelona tiki taka videos. You won't regret that. They make grown men look like children. As I mentioned, the All or Nothing series on Man City is great if you have Amazon Prime. And obviously, just watching games is good. FIFA TV has a YouTube channel that has lots of international matches. Or just look on YouTube for full football matches. You're smart, you'll find them. UEFA TV has old Champions League matches. I think you might have to register, but it's free. You'll probably want to follow BR's football channel on YouTube. They have a lot of good stuff, including this very funny series called The Champions, which I'd probably wait a little bit until you learn a little more about the top players before watching that. One place I always turn to when trying to learn a new sport is video games. So FIFA would probably help. The big caveat there is that it has horrible reviews. That said, if you're just trying to learn the rules,
I heard
it's
FIFA
it's
games like
attractive
very
too.
expensive to play, bro. Like it's very expensive to
Which
play.
players are on which teams and who plays where. I would say it's been pretty helpful for me. Most of the negativity toward the game is the online, the FIFA Ultimate Team mode, where you end up paying for players for your team. But if you just avoid that and then like stick to playing against the AI, then you should be okay. The
Yeah,
only thing I
but
hesitate
still.
to do is play as Barcelona because you could control Leo Messi, and like, who am I to tell God what to do? So I usually avoid that part. The alternative here, it would be a game called Pez, which I've heard good things about, although it doesn't have licensing for many of the teams. So jerseys will look different and team names will be slightly off, which I guess might be confusing to someone new. And
Yeah.
I think FIFA's player faces are a bit more recognizable too. News wise, there's coverage like everywhere of soccer, although I do enjoy the site onefootball.com, which brings us to the sponsor of today's video, which is there's no sponsor for today's video. Um, I just make these videos to push the boundaries of PowerPoint and see how mad I can make myself. Anyway, hopefully that helps somewhat.
That was a good video, bro. I like the contract. I like how he had went different like aspects of like position, how the game played, the position of the field, contract side of it, strategy, why people sometimes hold the ball more or people want to score more and they probably hide them people more might probably get paid more because to score more, which I understand. Uh it's different different website stuff you can look at and learn from. I like how you include that at the end of it, but my favorite part was probably like is the contract side of it. Like that was very unique. How they pay their players and how they buy out players and stuff like that. That was a good part of the video. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. Hit that subscribe and new to the channel. If you got any more videos like this, let us know in the comments below. Hit that like button as well if you enjoy this content. Want to see more content as well. And see you guys in the next video.